Welcome to Indie Reviews. On this episode of the show, I bring you Remothered. And I hate to say it, but it's pretty fucking shit. It was actually so bad that I almost wanted to do a full fucking indie critic on this game. So you know what? This episode might get a little heated and might get a lot of dislikes. But guess what? I don't really give a fuck anymore. So let's just dive right into this piece of garbage. I guess we'll start off with the things that I actually liked about this game. Because, well, there wasn't a lot of them. The only thing that I found was sort of redeemable about this game was the art style. It has this like super hyper-realistic art style look that really reminded me of Resident Evil 7. The environments look super detailed and I couldn't wait to explore the rest of the house. And I'll be honest, the only reason I really purchased this game was because of the art style. Typically when an indie game has invested so heavily in the art style, it means that they spent even more time developing the gameplay. Just look at Hellblade.
What is she doing? Why is she doing this? Why doesn't she do it?
I was expecting the same thing with Remothered. The game looked fantastic. The reviews on Steam were glowing. I had all the hope in the world that this would be an indie game to break out of the horror game convention box. Little did I know, Remothered would be the worst fucking game I have played all year. To start off the barrage of shit that pissed me off about this game, let's get into pre-rendered cutscenes. And if you've been following me for a long time, like back since I was known as Mew303 on fucking Twitch, you'll know that I fucking hate pre-rendered cutscenes. Why do I hate pre-rendered cutscenes? They generally look like shit, they are generally rendered for consoles, and they directly pull you out of the immersion of the game. So of course with a game like Remothered, instead of animating the characters in-game and not having the quality suffer, you're left with this pre-rendered fucking garbage that will age as well as fucking milk left out in the sun. I wish while they were busy lifting the art style from Resident Evil 7, that they actually lifted the in-game cutscenes. Just look at this cutscene from Resident Evil. It looks fantastic. It's not some 720p fucking garbage. I swear to Christ, if I see a comment down below saying, Damien, it's just an early access, I'm gonna fucking take a goddamn bucket and drown myself in it. Let's dabble into the music of Remothered. And why do I fucking hate the music of Remothered, you might be asking? Well, because you will listen to the same fucking track for hours at a time. Oh, believe me, I know that there are different fucking soundtracks for different sections of the game, but you'll be stuck in this single section for hours at a time because of the fundamentally flawed gameplay. Fuck, I'd still be there if I didn't look up a guide to get me through the game. Well shit, since we're already talking about the fucked up gameplay, might as well just jump into the worst part of Remothered, the gameplay. This is possibly the worst and most frustrating game I have played ever in my entire life. At least when Hob was shit, it was just uninspired and fucking boring. I can deal with that. But what I can't deal with is the nonsensical bullshit Remothered puts you through. Remember when I said that I hoped that Remothered broke out of the stereotypical horror game box? Well, what it actually did was it went out, purchased a latch, bought a lock, went back into the box, and proceeded to lock itself in the fucking box. So what's the problem with this gameplay? Well, you have to search every fucking drawer in this 4-story house for a single item to solve a puzzle. I know I worded that poorly, but the only way that I can describe it is just being frustrating as fuck. Everything is hidden so well and blends in with the entire world, so you can't really tell where anything is. Everything is so hidden and blends in with the world that you will literally not be able to complete this game without looking at a fucking guide. I promise you that. Look at this scene right here. Did you see the item I needed? I bet you fucking didn't, because here it is, on top of a shelf you cannot even reach. So why the fuck would you be looking there? Also, why the fuck is there a film reel in the goddamn stove? Seriously, who takes a film reel, puts it in the stove, takes the handle off the stove, and hides the handle in the same fucking room? It's fucking ludicrous. Look at some of this other stupid shit. So this would be what I would call the first puzzle of the game. You see this bathtub right here? Look at that. There's a key right there that you can grab. But no, you don't do that. First, you have to find a plunger in the kitchen to go unclog the bathtub so the water drains. which magically, I guess there's a water catch in the basement, so you go to the basement to grab the key. But oops, there's a grate in the way that your hands can totally 100% slip through. But nope, we have to unlock it. But how, might you ask? Alright, well follow along, kids. First, you have to go find a room that's locked. Unlock that with the key you grabbed from Mr. Felton's coat. Oh, you didn't grab it? Well, back upstairs then. Now it's time to start randomly unlocking doors on the main floor so you get a random event where a chandelier falls on you so you can obviously steal that cable. You then bring that cable downstairs, hook it up to the grate, then go to the dumbwaiter. Then after that, you head upstairs to turn the dumbwaiter on. The power goes off, so you have to head all the way back to the main floor to turn the power back on. Then go back upstairs to use the dumbwaiter again. Now you have to go grab the key, find a random ass clock in the middle of fucking nowhere, and kill yourself. Doesn't that sound like fun? Another problem with this game is the fact that it conditions you to just look over items. Seriously, there's so much useless fucking garbage spread across this entire game that it trains you to just look over these white dots. I'm not sitting here just saying, give me all the items to complete the story. But what I am saying is at least make a slight fucking effort to put the items in a spot that makes sense. Again, I'm gonna chat about Resident Evil 7 because that gameplay harkens back to the late 90s, early 2000s, just like Remothered is trying to do. But in Resident Evil 7, they do it the proper way. Each item is located in an area where you'd expect it to be. Let's take these dogs' heads, for example. One is actually hidden pretty fucking well. But you know what? They can get away with it because they train you to inspect every single item in the game. Search around, look for latches and stuff. They reward you for exploring. And you know what? You're gonna need every item that you can find in the fucking game. Remothered's design trains you in the opposite direction. There's so much useless clutter and garbage that you don't actually feel like inspecting anything anymore. Meaning it's impossible to find the items that you actually need because they do not stand out at all. Another problem with Remothered's game design is the fact that everything just looks so fucking samey. You have no idea where you are half the time in the fucking game. None of the floors look any different besides, well, the basement. And I get it, I'm seriously sucking Resident Evil 7's dick right now. But every area in that game looks so fucking drastically different that it is impossible to get lost. Remothered has a serious issue with this. There's a scene later on in the game after completing all the useless item bullshit where a girl runs up and hides in an attic. Where would you expect the attic to be? The 4th floor because it's the highest level on the house? Nope, you're wrong. It's on the 3rd floor. It's on the 3rd fucking floor. The floor that has a 30-foot high roof. You know what? I personally have never lived in a mansion, but I didn't know that the fucking attic access is on the goddamn 3rd floor. That is fucking batshit insane to me. Also, this cord to open up the fucking attic is so goddamn small that I just glanced right past it and walked up to the 4th floor and was like, where the fuck is the attic? But it's not there. I had to literally look up a guide to find where the fucking string was because it blends in so well. At least the game starts being pretty entertaining and not a fucking drag at this point in the game. I'm not going to talk much about the story of the game because it is an early access and it just kind of cuts itself off as soon as you get into the really cool section, which I'm excited for. But honestly, it's nothing really to write home about. Well, I guess it's time to chat shit about the fucking voice acting in the game. Seriously, I swear to God that they just went on the street and picked up random fucking people. Everything has a super weird rush to it. You can't hear any fucking emotion in anything that they're saying. Seriously, I felt like fucking Tommy Wiseau was gonna bust through the goddamn door. Here's something as well. I swear they only wrote 5 fucking sentences for Mr. Felton. Honestly, all he ever does is complain about his fucking moldy food, saying that he's all sick of all of this, and asking where his goddamn pills are because that's how old people talk, right? Honestly, I'm really glad that I get to listen to this for a fucking hour and a half. At least the monk priest thing had better dialogue. However, the best voice actor in this game would have to be Jennifer, and I'm actually not even making any jokes or anything. The way that she has this like whispered voice, super fucking creepy and off-putting. It was great.
What do you mean?
That door no longer exists. There's now a wall behind the fireplace.
I'm gonna bring up the enemy of the game, and I say enemy instead of enemies because the devs were so fucking lazy that the two of these enemies use the exact same fucking mechanics. They roam around the house in these random pathings. If they hear you, they chase after you until you hide under like a fucking couch or in a broom closet. Fuck, that just reminded me of one of the most frustrating things in this entire game. Your character walks so fucking slow. You literally walk as fast as you do while crouched. So you know what? There's no benefit in even walking. Why not just sprint? Well, if you even touch the goddamn sprint button, this fuck instantly runs to your location. So you're just stuck walking. And with all this goddamn backtracking and just aimlessly walking around, guess what? It's gonna drive you fucking mad. Also feeding into the walking stupidly slow section, you have this house design, which is stupidly open. Seriously, you go around a corner, you have about 30 to 40 seconds before finding your first object to hide behind. In this time, Felton can just bullshit his way around the entire house because he basically moves at the speed of fucking light compared to you. By the way, all of these criticisms also apply to the fucking priest because they are the same character. Here's something that actually pisses me off. The fact that Chris fucking Daryl acts like some goddamn messiah. I get that it's your IP, my dude, but do you have to mention yourself in every fucking text about the game? It is annoying as shit. Well, what about the Steam page? Well, of course, a narcissistic fucking prick like Chris Daryl has his name splattered across the early access warning. How many times exactly? Oh yeah, 4 fucking times. What about across the entire Steam page? Besides having like developer credits. Oh, let's look. 8 fucking times. You mention yourself. You mention yourself, Chris fucking Daryl, 8 times in the text for your game on the Steam page. You are fucked in the head. Well, here's a little message from me to you, Chris fucking Daryl. You shouldn't be sitting on your high horse when you've only created a piece of shit. Seriously, look at this quote that he put of himself on his Steam page. Thanks to his impressive direction, Chris Daryl puts into play a story rich of complex lifelike characters. Jesus fucking Christ. I've never seen anyone suck their own dick this much. I think it's time we end off this video with the section dedicated to all the minor piss-offs in the game. First off, the direction of the footsteps is all fucked up. You have no idea which direction the killer is actually in relation to you. You only have left and right audio inputs. You don't actually know if he is above you or below you. So that's a fucking piss off. The facial animations and cutscenes are pretty fucking bad, which is a surprise coming from the impressive direction of Chris fucking Daryl. Every cutscene just feels like it was sped up by 2 times. It's all fucked up. Grabbing items is also a fucking nightmare. It's pretty hard to describe, but basically you have to be pixel perfect to be able to pick up the item that you want to pick up. I sort of have to like aim myself more to the left of the item that I want to grab. This becomes a huge fucking problem because as soon as you're trying to pick up anything in like a drawer, you just end up opening and closing the fucking drawer over and over again. The FOV is also pretty small, which makes it kind of annoying to find items like the one that was on top of that shelf there. Anyways, guys, that's it for me today. Thanks for watching this episode of Indie Reviews. Make sure to let me know down below how you liked this episode. My dudes, I also have a Patreon if you feel like supporting the channel a little bit more. It'd be super helpful, and we actually do have exclusive Patreon content coming out this month, only available through Patreon. Thanks guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all on the next installment of the Indie Critic. Thanks for watching.